Yes.
Neural pathways, you ask. Guy, I'm here with, hello again, Dadhichi here, astrology.com.au with Guy Jefferson, my personal trainer. Not just any personal trainer, that's why I'm here interviewing him. Neural pathways, you ask what's that got to do with exercise, and I must admit I was a little bit confused when Guy threw me this ball during one of our earlier sessions and said, now balance on this. But I can't do that. So what's the principle here? Tell us a little bit about neural pathways and how, you know, a lot of modern exercise techniques are completely overlooking this component.
Absolutely. Unfortunately today, Dadhichi, with a lot of people who are involved in fitness and in health, it's much easier to stick people on machines and get people sort of training on unstable seats that don't move, in you know, highly I suppose developed and expensive machinery that unfortunately, for example, like a vertical bench press, work on one plane of movement.
Yeah.
Which I suppose if you've got certain expectations out of your training, like you're trying to put on a little bit of muscle mass through the chest and using different things like anabolic steroids and things, that they fall into place. Obviously, no, that's not something we're interested in. So, yeah, these neural pathways are basically, they come from what everybody knows as the central nervous system.
Right.
And a neuron is basically a nerve center. Now, from your brain, obviously, into the core structure in here, which is the center of the body we refer to as the core, you have actually more motor neurons.
You mentioned that. I was surprised at that. More here than here.
Absolutely. But the connection between the two is absolutely essential to understand and to correlate. So basically, if you've got, for example, an unhealthy digestive system and you're not eating the correct foods and you're drinking a lot of alcohol, you're dehydrated, you've got an inflamed digestive system, which is something I see on a really regular basis.
So that's, a lot of people would have that.
Absolutely, and unfortunately, you know, along with that comes things like parasite infection, fungal infection, and all those sorts of things. And
then down the track,
we've got obviously
diverticulitis, irritable bowel syndrome, cancer.
Absolutely, all of those sort of things that we hear.
Dreadful diseases.
Dreadful stuff that we hear a lot about.
So it all starts back here.
Yeah.
And then develops.
Well, the thing is, obviously, this is for another tape of ours, obviously, but I mean, the suppression of these things, the body's asymptomatic, so every time something's going wrong with the body, it comes up to the surface, and what we've been trained to do, unfortunately, these days by people,
normal medicine,
by normal conventional medical people, is to get a tablet, get a pill, and suppress it back down into the immune system. And what happens with these illnesses is they're just going to keep coming back stronger and stronger, because your body, at the end of the day, it wants to live. It wants to live, and it will do anything to live. So
it's trying to
expel it, whether it's through the lungs, which is one of the last lines of defense, or the skin, or through vomiting or diarrhea. They're all ways. Now, unfortunately, when you go to the chemist and get something to suppress that, as I said, it just worsens and worsens and worsens.
Which is why the fasting principle is so good, because it gives us the opportunity to help the body